Hey, we're live. It's not my birthday, but we all need to make a crown sometimes, don't we? So this week, I thought we'd make a crown. Yeah, it's based on the folds that I've just been playing with an awful lot, very simple. And I've been making that complete circle, different flowers, lots of things up there, created with this sort of very simple module. And I found quite a few people asking about the crown, so I thought it'd be worth showing. I'm gonna take that one off. Right. So it's a good little challenge, she says. So hello, Eric. So I'll be showing you how to fold. I quite like a little small one actually. That's kind of cute, isn't it? That's quite nice. So I will show you with a few pieces, and it'll be up to you. It's always a good point of focus as well. Um, how you do it. So we will do it obviously just through tucking and folding. And oh, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea for leading things on. Um, but if you were wanting to make this for a child, to be honest, I would recommend using a little bit of glue stick because it will just get too annoying for them. Hello, Penny. If it falls apart. So if you're really good at concentrating, then actually you can make it quite tough by folding that inside part in half inwards. I have to say it's quite tricky to do, so I was really almost tongue almost out while I was doing this. So this is completely without glue, and it is pretty tough, but it's not easy to do. So yeah, I think you have to be quite good at focusing and origami to do this. It's quite a small group, isn't it, today? I was thinking actually when things get certainly. Oh, hello, honey. Oh, lovely to have you here. And Stephen, I feel like the world is all in the right order once I've got all of you here. Thank you for joining. And it's such a lovely day, isn't it? Hello, Money. Thank you for joining as well. Yeah, possibly once it gets to August, I may be taking a bit of a break over that time. And I'm figuring as well it will get quieter too. So, but I thought I'd share with you, yeah, this crown, which I think is a really nice one to do. And as I was saying, you could either go for, if you're doing this with a child, to be honest, I would use a little bit of tape or glue to keep things secure. It will balance, but if things start coming apart, hello, Santosh, music. Ah, lovely to have you here. Um, you can balance it, but if it's a child, it'll probably get too upsetting if it falls apart. So these little flaps, you'll find you could easily add a tiny bit of tape or glue stick, or you can balance if you're brave, or if you're feeling very brave, you can fold it in half inwards. And I have to say, I found it quite hard to do, so I was really having to concentrate. But I was really pleased with the end result. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, you can. Here, I just happen to have lots of little scraps of paper, and thought I'd put the colour of a rainbow. It always makes me happy. And yeah, and that's a good idea. Some duct tape, yeah, that would be great. So I thought we all have to kind of keep ourselves at our own little party at home, don't we? Really. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. Other things for next week. Just to give you a little sneaky preview. Next week, someone suggested they'd really like to know how to do this. It's based obviously on the traditional crane, and I've just been playing around, seeing what's possible. I call this kind of a crane flower, but it looks quite nice. So that'll be next week. Something different the week after. I'm going to keep it all a bit stum, so it's all exciting. Yeah, but I've ended up enjoying this. Um, it's kind of, yeah, inspired by this module that I've been doing, the complete circle with, and various flowers, all sorts of things. So I'm thinking this more as like little leaves or petals. So I'm thinking this is a lovely kind of summery crown, and it's just, I find myself just enjoying the feel and the look of this. And I think we all have to make ourselves feel special these days, don't we? We can do that with paper. Or maybe, Honey, I can imagine you doing lots of lovely colouring or painting. There's an awful lot you could do with this, isn't there? Obviously, anyone with children, this could be a good one. Use that tape, I would, to keep things secure. Right, I've chatted for 5 minutes. Shall we get going? So, grab yourself some paper. It depends, it's up to you how many points you're gonna do, what size. So I thought I'd just start you off with a few smaller ones, and then let's just see how we get on. Yeah, here goes. Right. Yeah, I quite liked it with the smaller pieces. It's got a nice little feel to it. It's almost like a flower in itself as well, isn't it? So grab myself some boards. Oh, I'm glad it's been a bit quieter again after that one time. Anyway, you live and learn, don't you, as you go along? Excellent. Yeah, I think so. Making some components, get the idea, enjoy it, and then you can continue depending on what size crown you want to make. Oh, Janet, so good to have you back. We keep thinking of you. I'm glad you're hopefully well. I really hope that you're oh, exactly, Eric. Hope that your family is okay. We're thinking of you so much in India. So sorry, so saddened to see how incredibly difficult it is. Really hope that things will get better. Really are thinking of you. I had almost a year in India as a child. Very much think of India. It's inspired me so much creativity, so many people, which is very hard for a pandemic. Right, what size? We're going to make a crown, and we'll think of other things. So I think I might make a big square and then cut that square up into 4. That's what I'm going to do. Really up to you. Yeah. So yeah, I hope things are okay for you, June. It's just great to have you here. We have been aware that you haven't been with us, and we all keep on wondering and hoping for the best. It's a community across the world, isn't it, with origami? And then bringing that back, just making a square. So for now, I'm still keeping my work remote. My hope maybe would be at some point to maybe have 1 day a week working in the hospital on the wards, and then another day a week maybe doing things remote, because I think different settings, different things are good for different people. It can be actually people in quarantine, or access wise it can be very good, I think, this way. And yet I think it will really benefit for people in person when that becomes possible. But it's hard to plan anything anymore, isn't it? I just go with the flow. I'm gonna halve this, making some little squares. Actually, they're quite big size squares. Yes. Oh, it's true, Janet. Eric has been very much saying he's been thinking of you. Yeah, even in this little group of us to come together, it really is a little family, isn't it? That's right. Friends, community, thinking of each other. So, it's a long period of time that we shared, isn't it, doing things like this? Our own bubble. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Let's make ourselves feel special with the crown, honey. Yeah, I have to say, I think these changing times can be, some ways, yeah, it's been quite secure in a way, hasn't it? Complete lockdown, and then as things change, in many ways it can feel more unsettling. All we can do is our best. Am I going to do more than 4? I don't know. Let's just see as we go along. Try not to overthink. Easier said than done. But this is about not thinking too much, just enjoying. For me, origami is all about how it makes you feel. A little bit of focus. Right, so take one of your squares, and if you haven't already got a diagonal, then fold yourself a diagonal. That's it. Oh, that's nice, Eric. Yeah. Giving you a big origami hug, honey. As you give to others, you'll have to give them to ourselves, and often that can be harder, can't it? The outside to the middle line, I have to say, yeah, at times I find things difficult too. Human condition, we're all complex beings, and often I think probably time with other people helps get us out of wherever it is that we're in. And hopefully, even with something like this, it is taking us out of ourselves to being with a group. thinking of others, and that benefits everybody, doesn't it? Again, the outside to that middle line. So if you've done the complete circle or lots of things I've been doing, starts off this way, which is actually like making a traditional tuck. It's just really simple. I don't quite know what this first fold's called, but I just love this shape. Really nice. So, okay. So what we're going to do now is turn it to the smooth side. And we're going to fold it top to bottom. Yeah, thinking of you, honey. The good thing is speaking up, because often when we're feeling unhappy, so we hide away, don't we? Actually, to sharing that you're not feeling great with others, you'll find actually not everybody's feeling great either. Oh, is it? Oh, Eric, that's nice. That paper, it is, isn't it? It's a joy. Connects us to the moment and the feel of it, just how simple, lovely paper is, right? So turning back to that side with those flaps, is that working? Yeah, me too. This top point, I'm bringing it down there. I have to say, I've been watching, if you haven't been watching Bob Ross, obviously from ages ago, 70s or 80s, with his amazing hair. And BBC4 most weeknights, I think, a bit before 8. He's just doing a painting. It's funny, it's not the style of painting I'm so into, but I just find utterly magical, mesmerizing what's possible. But it's just the sound of the brush and him, the absolute simplicity of it. It makes me tingle every time. Oh, it's so sad he's not alive, isn't it? Just his happy little trees. Yeah, and I'd heard about Bob Ross and yeah, hadn't really experienced or seen before. So it's been a real joy to discover that. And I almost go in a slightly zoned out feel. I do recommend if you haven't. So that's it. That's our little unit. Sorry, I've been chatting away while doing it. Oh, do you really, Mummy? Oh wow! Oh, happy trees, and it's about making your own little world and just the joy, even just the sound of brush on the canvas. Oh, it's great. Yeah. Treat yourselves to these things. Right, I will keep doing just a few little units and then we'll see how they link together. So again, I'm going to do a diagonal line. And now I feel liberated with the sound of the paper as well. Thanks to Eric. Thank you, Eric. That was a very kind presence here. It's funny that I don't know, Eric, whether we've met in person or not. And it's interesting, isn't it, when you get to know someone just in this context. And obviously, I don't think I've seen you, but it's more just a lovely warm feel rather than any particular, because we probably get an awful lot of impressions, don't we, from what each other looks like. It's not relevant at all. It's how you are. That's it. It's quite fun. It's kind of mystery. Sweet gift. Yeah. And just, I think actually Bob Ross is very mindful, isn't it? It is about just focusing and making your own little happy little world. How we need that. It is for our mental health. Yeah. Yeah. Self compassion. I'm having to practice that too at times. As an artist, it can be really tough. Like, what am I doing next? It's not going to be an easy time, and just trying to be really kind to yourself. Definitely. Oh, yeah. So I guess we haven't met, Eric, but we have really, haven't we? So turning to the back to the smooth side, and then the top to the bottom. Again, if you've done any folds with me before recently, you'll be familiar with this. I'm just obsessed by this little shape. Looks like a little boat. I think just enjoying simple shapes. So I've been finding quite a lot of different folds. I recently found a really nice sort of 4-leaf clover. I think somebody else has actually discovered it, but I'm very much finding things from not looking at others, completely immersing myself and just folding by myself. And then I'm just seeing that as these are folds that I've found and that I can give away freely, because that's the spirit that I believe in. It just frees me up, actually, which is important to feel happy. Self-care, that's it. Folding inwards, right. So we've got 2. Shall I start showing you the principle? Exactly. To me, that's what origami is. Whereas actually with other art, I've always created, and I've done that completely by myself, and actually quite happily do that by myself. But to me, origami is based on people have learned, discovered things and passed it on, and it would never happen if people hadn't done that. So it represents time together, which is a lovely thing. And also, I think particularly anything mathematical like this, really, it's not so much about you, it's about finding what's possible out there. So it feels like it's owned by the greater universe, not by an individual person. So, which is also the beauty of the traditional, that it's things that have been loved gets passed on. Yay! Congratulations, honey, British Origami Society member. And lovely to think of Robert Harbin as well. I've recently been hearing lovely things about him as a person. Obviously a magician, but it sounds like he's a playful, kind person and looked after his wife really nicely too. We all need to hear good things, don't we? Right, so how to link these things together. So can you see I'm slightly opening up that front one, and I'm going to just slot it in there. So it'll be about to that point. Right, let's turn to the back. And actually, this one that I've slotted in needs to... Sorry, I'm just taking it out again. I've realised actually this is quite a tricky one to show in a camera, because somehow it's all very much from one side to the other. I don't know why, it slightly pickles my brain, this one. So, right, you can basically take one and slot it underneath the flap of the following one. Now, if you open up that flap, at the bottom there's also another flap that you can slightly tuck it in. Do you see? And then closing it down, and then the thing that may help to lock it a little bit, but not enough for a young child, definitely use glue, is to just fold it along that line, and that's helping locking it in place, but just gently. So there you go, that's kind of one side. So we'll maybe fold a couple more units and see how they link together. Depends what size I'm gonna do, don't know. Right, some more little units. So diagonal line, that's it. And then the side, we're going to go and bring it to the middle. But I do find origami is always very comforting. It almost stops you just thinking too much, brings you to a nice little calm space. Hope you're finding that, honey, amongst friends as well. That's it. Well, I think it's been a very strange time for everybody, and I think, you know, even if nothing has happened, even if you've been well, it's still this time of isolation. I think is extremely hard. And then how to feel comfortable with people again, I don't know. I feel very mixed about that. Don't know about you, but it feels lovely and safe this way, and yet at some point it's not healthy just to see people this way, and yet in person can feel a bit scary too. So I think, yeah, we're all just going to have to see how it goes, and it depends, you know, where each country is at. I just hope we can get better for India. That's it. So I've done that. It's not perfect. I'm doing it into camera. It's all right. Always be kind and forgiving. Turn to the back, through side, top to bottom. There we go. So all these films are dedicated to my colleagues, and it's been great to hear. Recently been hearing a lot more of the colleagues who said it has really helped them over this time. Sometimes the recorded films as well, but I think, which to me is what it's all about, suggesting it offers that human connection. I think more so than what it is that you're folding, which to me is exactly right. It's that care together and the kind, gentle, positive attitude. To me, it's all actually about teaching in a way, nourishing ourselves in order to learn something new, to overcome challenge, difficulty, new things. And we do that together, don't we? We all need encouragement and to be playful. That way it can be fun. So the top down to there. There we go. We'll keep it nice and lined up. Again, sends my brain to pickle sometimes because I'm doing it into camera. That's it. Holding that inwards. I kind of like how it curves out slightly. It's just enjoying these little shapes and tensions. There we go. So that would be the next spike on my crown. I might do another one while we're here. So I hope you're just enjoying a bit of gentle folding with me. That's it. Simple things. Little party crown. Maybe it's leaves and petals. Or it could just be something to just leave around, you know, in your casual day. Not always wearing your crown. Ah, yes, I will do, Penny. I will do. I'll just fold this last one and then I will gently do that. Oh, brilliant. Excellent, Eric. Yes, I will definitely. These two that I'm making, I'll show how to connect. Yes. Sorry, Penny, it wasn't particularly clear. I found I can feel a bit confused on the camera with this one. But I will go slowly on myself. And thanks for saying that it definitely needs going through again. Too right. I think in an odd way, the things that I found, I'd probably less good at demonstrating because I tend to practice less. I'm like, oh, I found it, I'm on something else. And then, whereas if I've tried to learn from someone else, then I've had to practice an awful lot to get to that point. There we go. Turning to the back, but I'll try to do better. There we go, top to bottom. Need some coffee. Go. There we go. And then again, top down to there. And then again, folding that half inwards. Nice little, that little tension that comes out there. There we go. Right, how to join them together. We've got a couple of goes here. So I have got two joined together, but I'll show you how to continue. Thank you, Eric. Very kind. Right, it's going to go the same way round each time. So she says, oh, which way again? My head spins to this one. But can you see this one's overlapping that one? So I need to continue that way. Okay. How to do it. Okay. So I'm looking at this side. Right. So from the front, this one's going to overlap the same direction. So this one's, and on the back, if we're looking at the back, I'm tucking the one that I'm pushing in. I'm going to push underneath that flap. Now I'm also going to lift up that flap. It does get tricky when you get onto lots of them, because I can just about underneath here as well is another little flap. Again, you'll hopefully discover these things yourself as you're doing it. Can you see there's another flap underneath there? So I can just about tuck it under. None of this is massively strong. As I said, you could, at the end of it, glue it, or as you go along, it's completely up to you. But it will just about hold through folding. And if you're very brave, you can also fold that in half completely, and that will keep it really nice and strong, like a real band. But it's quite hard then to assemble the next one. So bit of a tricky one, that. But it's good for a challenge, isn't it? And I think that's what this is about. So from the front, this is how it's looking. And when I've got one in, this is the new one that I've put in. I've tucked it, this from the front and the back. I then also just folded it along that tip of the halfway of your tip there of a crown. And that just helps keep everything together. Oh, it's good on there. But it just keeps it all staying together in the same way. There we go. looking nice. Okay, next one. Yes. So next one. How's it going, Penny? Is this helping? But I guess you've got the double complexity of me trying to do this into a camera, you trying to look at that and then figure it out on your own one. It's good for the brain, isn't it? So again, this one will need to overlap. Nope, not that way. Oh, this is the point my head squizzles and whizzles around. No, not that way. That way. Just so that they're all heading the same way, whichever way it is. And then at the back, I need to feed it into that little slot there. Still not, no, I know it's a good old challenge, isn't it? You know, you can resort to glue, etc. if you want to, but it is quite fun. So what I'm doing is I've slid that underneath the previous flap, but underneath here is also an extra little flap which this can go under as well. As I said, it's not a solid lock, but bringing that down, you can, I recommend that you then fold along that vertical line of each point, and that way it starts to lock them together. And obviously you can come around and bring it together. The crown of 4 points is not very much, is it? Shall we do any more? I don't know. What do you reckon? Shall we do another couple of, maybe do another couple of these? Hopefully you'll start to get the principle, or maybe you'll come up with something new. Oh, that's fantastic. Whoa, oh, fantastic. Yay. That's amazing. There we go. So again, I'm going to do that original big square. That's right. Wow, you're doing lots of things. That's great, honey. Well done. Remove that rectangle. Oh, that's a good idea. Using it as a paintbrush holder. However you choose to use your crown. There we go. I'll just do another 2 squares. 6 feels like a nice number. It is only a little crown. And then in half again. Halving that. And little neck there. There we go. So I'm just going to do another 2 units. Oh, might try folding and unfolding before. It's good. It's a good challenge, isn't it? Something that seems quite simple. That's a great idea. So if you fold the bottom bottle up, you can folding and unfolding the horizontal crease for assembly. Yeah, that's a good point. We live and learn as we go along. Thank you. The sides, there are of course other origami crowns out there, which no doubt will be easier to do than this. But what I love about it all is it just encourages me to focus and just enjoy. Actually, we've been exploring a very simple fold and the many different ways you can go with it. I find just lovely. So most of all, it's enjoying the process and the learning and the play. Yeah. There we go. There we go. And then turning that to the smooth side. And again, like this. In half. And this side down. Yeah, be intrigued, even if you find that there's a better way of doing it. I am learning as I go along. But I did find that the folding it inwards does really lock it well towards the end, but this is pretty tricky to do. I'm not sure I necessarily recommend that until you're really confident of what you're doing. Again, a diagonal. Diagonal. That's it. Opening it up. Sides to the middle. Oh, good. Well done, Marnie. It's a joy, isn't it, when you kind of go, oh, that's how it works. Yeah, and I think that's how origami is always that collaboration, because there's a discovery in your own mind. Even someone else has found something. It's for you to find and you to understand, and that's quite an achievement always, isn't it? Overcoming that. Turning it to this side, top to bottom. Here we go. And then in half. So yeah, I've been keeping a little catalogue of all the things I've been finding. I have to say, most of the designs have been those triangle designs. I found the triangles very stimulating. There's an awful lot you can do with that. And that really just got me going. I think over 70 different things I've been finding recently. At least it gives me a bank of things that I can play around with. And it's amazing different directions things take you. But of course, it's all the experience of doing this over time that you start to go, oh yeah, that could do that. And just trying to go by those instincts that you learn. Right. So again, which end am I going to go to? But yeah, as Stephen's saying, it's probably better maybe to do it flat. I don't know. So I'm going for just slotting it in because it's the same direction, and I'm slotting it in at the back at the same time. And I get to that point where that's touching there. And then on the other side, I am opening this up. And, what am I doing? This one. So there's this bit sticking out, and actually you should be able to tuck it underneath a little flap. As you can see, this is all about concentration and focus, isn't it? It's not very easy, and that's also what makes it very mindful. Just takes you thoroughly in this place. Yeah, excellent. Oh, good. I'm glad it's working, Penny. There's the other side. And yeah, if you can even fold this in half, but you need to have assembled it first, really. It makes it super strong, but it's not easy to do. I will hats off to you, or crowns off to you if you managed to do that. I was very satisfied when I did, but it was definitely not easy. So again, I'm slipping it in at the back here. This is going to go in there. This is making sure it's that's not the right way around. The camera again. Nope. My brain slightly overloads with this. That's it. And that has to go with that. No. My brain is refusing to understand this one. You can see how it's challenging. Well, that's it. Got it. So it's not thinking too much. There we go. I slid it in at the back. That's right. So I am lifting this up. And again, there's that little flap I could just about do that with. Oh, brilliant. Oh, thanks, Stephen. I'm glad it's lovely. It's quite challenging. I seem to be finding challenging things. And I'm certainly appreciating those people who find models that are sturdy. That's very worthwhile. Actually, an interesting one I've appreciated a lot more, because I am obviously not at all hard line about glue, and actually recently was experimenting with something which looked like it might work, but actually it needed a bit of help. And actually I found myself not really liking a complete model. And I think the reason was actually because of the glue, because something's beautiful if it all holds together on its own tension. And although that can be really hard, there is a real beauty to it. So I think it shows. In the end, I gave up on the one that I was doing because it just didn't look nice actually with glue, because it didn't allow it to form its own tension together as a modular piece. So definitely got me to appreciate just how important that is. Sometimes you have to do things, don't you, to appreciate that. This is one which is not an easy one to do with the camera, I have to say, but it's got a nice feel to it, hasn't it? And again, you should be able to. I'm not even going to attempt this. I'm like that. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? It's got a nice feel to it. Nice sort of edginess to it, and I think it's that little fold for each of those lines. Nice with different colours and things. Yay! So I hope it's coming together for you. As you can tell, as I reckon, though, possibly a little bit of glue at the end if you were to give this to a child, because it would just upset them too much if it fell apart. So, but for yourself, you should be able to definitely do that. And that extra fold, if you are able to, I won't even attempt it on camera because my brain just can't cope with too many things at once. But you may be able to fold that inwards, and it really locks it together. So I'm very happy with this one, because it's really nice and robust, and that is purely just from folding. Ta-da! It is like magic. And it's just got a really satisfying feel to it, hasn't it? These little spikes to it. So next week, yes, a crane flower. It's a simple one. Oh, yes, I agree. Things like that are rare. And you kind of learn as you go along. Oh, you're welcome. I think it's mostly entertainment, really, isn't it? That's exactly what we need. I think for me, origami, not to take it too seriously, it is about fun, playful, kind time together, allowing yourself that, not to be taken too seriously. Things fall apart. It's quite funny too, isn't it? Certainly is when it's on camera. This one actually, this also, I find almost every piece of origami has its tricky aspect. I don't know whether you find that. There are very few models where you really go, God, that's brilliant, but it's all completely simple. It's not. There's always ways. So this one will be a joy to share, and I have to say it's one that can break quite easily too. So it's all about your focus, but the joy when it does work is really nice. It's kind of almost on a nice little stand. After that, the week after, I'll be sharing beautiful Meta ring, and Meta Pedersen herself has given her kind support. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that. And then after that, I've got lots of things I've been finding, particularly the strong stars, I'm calling them. I'm sure other people will have found things like that before. It's a modular star, but it's really strong. It will not fall apart. So I have to say I'm valuing that. Other ones that I've made that are a little bit more fragile are ending up in little plastic packets so that they don't fragment, because if I pop them in a box. But the main thing is that it's just giving you that complete focus and joy. So thanks everyone for joining. It's so appreciated. And I hope you have a good week. I hope you are getting sunshine at the moment. I hope you can get outside, enjoy the sun, and look after yourselves. I hope, honey, you feel a little bit better for some time together. Be kind on yourself. You're doing great. You're doing amazing things by the sound of it. We all need to praise ourselves for the things that we're doing. As we would encourage and care for others, we need to do that for ourselves. It is the basis. Oh, I'm really glad, honey. Yay, origami magic. Put on that crown. And have a good week, everyone. Take care. Keep well. Bye-bye. You're welcome, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Stephen, honey, everyone, Money. And it's good to have you back, Junid, as well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Maybe check out Bob Ross if you haven't already. Thoroughly recommended. Very mindful, very beautiful. And you'll feel much happier for it. Bye-bye.